All right, thank you, Alyssa. These cold temperatures come at a perfect time for some, just days before Christmas. In fact, some visitors were out enjoying the city despite the chill in the air. WSAV's Meg Porterfield was out in it earlier talking to visitors and finding out what you need to know to stay warm this weekend.
Well, I'm out here in downtown Savannah where looks are deceiving. Although the sun is out, it is really starting to get cold out here, and this chilly wind is picking up in what is projected to be our coldest Christmas since 1999. Even with the cold weather, some people were bundled up and out enjoying the town today, although they were surprised by just how cold it felt.
Yeah, Savannah is a wonderful place, and we intend to explore up and down 100%. But I don't recall. This reminds me of my winters in Massachusetts. The only thing that's missing is a ton of snow. So anyway, but it's good to brave the cold so long as you come prepared.
Georgia officials emphasize that being prepared in this weather is key, that frostbite can happen to anyone, and say there are some important signs to look out for.
Some of the warning signs are white or grayish yellowing of the skin, numbness of the skin that feels unusually firm or waxy. If this happens, frostbite areas are typically numb. Do not put them near a heat source to try to warm them. You will not feel the damage you're doing to the body because it's warm. So if you do experience some numbness, wrap yourself in some type of blanket, try to sip on something warm and start warming the core temperatures.
The temperatures have many people staying inside, but for one holiday visitor who came prepared, the cold isn't changing his mind about Savannah.
It's beautiful, but it's just frigid. But it's the wind chill here. We're experiencing right off the water record temperatures, I'm sure. But that's not going to stop us from coming back here sometime in the future.
Well, there will be multiple warming centers available this weekend around Chatham County, and even a pet-friendly warming center provided by the city. But for a full list of where you can go to stay warm this weekend, please visit our website, WSAV.com. From downtown Savannah, Meg Porterfield, WSAV News 3, on your side.
And as Meg said, we are on your side with that full list of cold weather shelters in our area. Visit WSAV.com/warming stations. We have some good news tonight in a News 3 follow-up. The hot water is back on at a Savannah Senior Citizens Complex. All week we've been telling you about the residents at the Rose of Sharon apartments. They reached out to News 3 saying they've been without heat and hot water for several days. Management told us the part needed to fix the hot water tank was not available locally. We learned that part arrived today and residents have hot water again. The Chatham County Sheriff's Office tells us Billy Joe Howell is out of jail. The grandmother of Quentin Simon served a 10-day sentence for violating a juvenile court order. Her time there was not directly related to the death of her 20-month-old grandson. Now, Leonie Simon, Quentin Simon's mother, is expected to be back in court for a status hearing next month. She is accused of beating the child to death. She remains in protective custody without bond. It's another year of Christmas blessings for local children and their families, thanks to a well-known Savannah charity. For 37 years now, the Martin de Porres Society of Savannah has handed out Christmas gifts to local children. Christ Church Angelica hosted the nonprofit for this year's Christmas Blessings event. Volunteers distributed bags full of gifts, and the society president says this is just one way they help the local youth throughout the year. And in our community report tonight, a Georgia State Police trooper has been making kids smile around the holidays for more than a decade now. Major Thornell King has been holding an event that provides toys for children in need in and around the city of Darren. Now, with the help of donors, Major King has been able to provide toys to the estimated 500 children who attended this afternoon's event. A meal of fish, shrimp, and hot dogs were also provided.
This is our 11th year doing this TK's Toys giveaway for the kids, and we just want to make sure that no child is without a toy for Christmas. And what happened some 11 years ago, my wife and I decided not to give each other Christmas gifts, and we started with $200, and then it's grown into this event right now.
Major King also says he's just grateful for how large the event has grown over the years and that he hopes to continue to make an impact in the community. Only on News 3, an incredible story coming out of Bryan County. An elderly couple is alive, but their home and almost everything they own burned to the ground. The elderly resident lost his phone, so he drove to the nearest fire station to tell firefighters his home was burning down, but his heroics didn't end there. WSAV's Brett Buffington has that remarkable story.
Brian Perry Price told me he was sitting in his chair watching television when he heard the fire alarm going off. He thought it was on TV. When he opened the door, he saw those flames. When a mop wouldn't work to save his wife, he turned to his tractor. The only thing fiercer than the flames that burned
right here was the window.
Jody Price's home to the ground is the love he has for his wife. It's been 55 years since Jody and Judy said, "I do."
Well, she, just like love at first sight. I knew she was the one.
He'd show us the pictures, but just like so many of their things, this fire took those away.
We raised our 3 kids, and we lost all the pictures, and there's a lot of things you lose.
Jody says a smoke alarm woke him up, worried through the flames when he couldn't find his wife. At 75 years old, from outside of his burning home, Jody used a mop to break in Judy's bedroom window. When that wasn't enough to rescue the love of his life.
Right here was the window, right here. And I broke it out, and then I put the tractor up there, and that's where I got her out, right there.
Together, they got in their truck and drove to the fire station at least 3 miles away to wake up the firefighters to put out the fire. It was those firefighters who put on social media this heroic story.
We made it.
Ask Jody Price about losing his home, and he will tell you that
We can build back.
is nothing compared to the price of losing love. Something he shared in that story during that interview was the fact that inside of his house was all of his clothes. So he ran to that fire station in his truck, only wearing, as he said, his skivvies, with his wife in the passenger seat. Brett Buffington, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Next on News 3 at 11, the Electoral Count Act is set to go to President Biden to be signed. This comes as the January 6th committee releases its final report on potential charges for the Capitol insurrection.
And to